Alright, so I'm recording my review for today, 9/11, 2019. Um, so I'll just start off today, my plan, also with my plan, kind of. Um, I was watching ZS, Play, GameStop, Roku. Small caps, I was watching Yuma. Um, didn't really see anything though I liked. My main focus today was Play and Roku. ZS kind of just started fading right off the bat. Didn't really have anything to trade it, and then GME same thing. So um, I'll go over those in a minute. But first, I want to go over Play and Roku. So Roku started off. So just to give you context, for the last it's been trending up like crazy, and the last 2 days have been these huge down days, all the way from 176 down to 140. Big days. I mean, it uh, moved what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up days in just 2 candles. So very big day. First red day I did pretty well, and then this second red day was huge. I wasn't here yesterday for that, but looked really good in other words. And I thought that it'd be a good day for a bounce. Um, it's really not on news. Spies were up today pretty big, so I felt like it would be a good time to do it. My plan was down big yesterday. SSR was triggered. Yeah, SSR. I forgot to mention that. I said I'm expecting a bounce. I will play this with the trend after 9:45. So that being said, after the 9:45, and that's kind of what messed me up. So we're coming into the morning. This is the open. Bam. I'm already looking for a long. We're holding above red green, and it washes down to green red. I start thinking like, oh man, I want to long this green red on this, wash out before it rips type trade. But then I was like, well, no, my plan is I need to wait till 9:45 to take any trades. Basically, it comes down, hits that, rips, and then instead of just saying, okay, well, no matter what, I waited for my plan here. I'm not going to go till 9:45 ish. I'm just gonna, if I'm not gonna take this good trade, I'm not gonna take this crappy trade. Instead of that, I just decided it's going to run all day without me. And so as soon as it closed above this, actually I'll go to a 1 minute and wait, see a little bit better. But it's not like it makes it any better. Still hurts. So I think you can see it, but as soon as it kind of sat up there for like 2 candles, 3 candles above this line, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get in with a risk right below this little swing low, right here. So I longed it here. Was planning on hopping out here. I gave it a few extra cents. Room stopped me out, and then it just ripped back down. Luckily, I wasn't dumb enough. I was actually wanting to buy it again here, but I was like, no, I was actually not dumb enough to do that again. But after that, I kind of was like, okay, screw this thing. I was upset. I upped my size in it today too, so I lost more than, not that I should have, but just more than I wanted to. Um, So then I come over to play. Play was down big, and then right about off the open, it starts to just grind up. Not grind. I mean, it's ramping up. And I was thinking, okay, this is kind of like that Starbucks play where it just grinds up. Like even though the news wasn't bad, but they lowered their guidance. I think. Let me see exactly. Yeah, they lowered their guidance, although it was a better quarter this year than last year. Earnings of 90% or 90 cents per share. The estimates were 8.86 a share. So it was better than expected, but their guidance was lowered for next year. So it had this big tank down. After it started grinding up, you could see this big line right here. The line I was going off was this line here, sorry, at 30 or 40 even. You can see it's a pretty legit line, so I was gonna play it off there. Um, oops. So after it kind of stayed above here, then it came down to VWAP. I decided that was a good spot to hit it. It My stop was 39.50 as well, so barely missed my stop. Came up, and then I was just being dumb, man. I don't know what I was thinking. I was in at 40.05. It popped up here. I think the high was. Let me zoom in. The high was 60 something or 78. So I was up, a few cents after it almost stopped me out. So at this point, I was just kind of scared, and I was like, I don't want to lose. Um, so I stopped out here. It didn't stop. I made like 10 cents. Um, and then immediately started regretting it because it was holding view up, and I was like, why did I get out? I should just have my stop where my stop was at 39.50. Um, and then I got back in, and it grinded for a while, and then just kind of went into total grind mode. My stop was again down below 39.50, but as soon as it started grinding like this, I was like, oh, okay, now it's made a total little shelf here at 40. I could put my stop right below it, which was dumb because this kind of stuff happens. It washed down. I stopped myself out. Again, my stop was supposed to be 50, which it didn't come to. It came to 60. So I stopped just a few cents below the low. And my profit target plans was to take a partial at 41, 46, and then kind of let the rest ride and see what happens. So stopped out there, and then it, rips back up, hits my profit target, my first profit target at least, and at this point, I'm really upset I missed this trade. So I go to Roku and I'm like, okay, let's try to make that loss back. So 10:45 is where I get in this basically. So right before I'm actually in this trade. So this trade was about Neil, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try to make some quick money. So after Roku did all this crazy whippiness, I thought a trend had formed. It popped up above here. It was holding these pre-market highs, and so I longed it off the pre-market highs, and it just chopped down through, and then ended up being a really choppy chart for the rest of the day. Roku did, which brings me to the fact that I don't know if this was a bad technical play. I really don't think so because it already done its all its choppiness, had broke above a key level. I think the biggest part of this is just at this point it's not as much in play. Um, there was no fresh news. I was just kind of going off the fact that yesterday and the day before were big down days, and that it should bounce. I wasn't playing, it just wasn't the hot stock of the day. Yes, people were watching it, but it was very choppy and didn't really have direction. And um, I just don't like that kind of chart. It's like the AMD when I just kept getting caught up in it because I want to keep trading it because I like it because I made money in it a couple weeks ago type thing, and I made money on it 3 days in a row, so why not today? Type of attitude when I should have assessed and be like, okay, Roku's probably shouldn't be my main watch. I should focus on others. So, um, yeah, that's the chop action killed me here. So I lost twice in Roku. This was a smaller size one because I had already been frustrated and already taken a pretty nice little size loss here. It's $1. It doesn't look big, but it's $1. Um, then I came back over to play because it had grinded back up and it was holding these highs. So after it after it bounced up here, I actually hit on this little dip and sat in it for a long, long time. Popped up, messed around, and then actually my internet went out like right here. And it was kind of a saving grace type thing because this is not an A plus setup. This was a chase trade trying to make back, some losses. Um, but my internet went out, so I just jumped on my phone and covered my position. And literally the next candle, a couple candles would have stopped me out. So I got lucky here. I made like 3 cents, but so basically zero here. So I think for the day I was down a tiny bit on this Roku or on this name. Let me see exactly what I'm in. Yeah, I was down 14 bucks on play. So very frustrating day for me. Um, I guess the biggest takeaways are stick with your stops. Had I not punked out here and just closed it and just stuck with my stop, either on this one would have been profitable or even on the second one where I entered would have been profitable. But I tried to move my stops and set to break even and all that, and just didn't account for the fact that these fake out moves happen all the time. Could have built this trade pretty good, taken some partials um, when it pushed up here, possibly maybe added some back up in here. Um, could have been a good trade, but I just played it really bad. So tomorrow my goal is to focus on the stocks that are in play, that are trending, that have good range, that are doing, what I think they are, and not focusing on just a stock because I made money on it yesterday type thing. So probably not going to watch Roku tomorrow. Um, I'm going to focus on maybe play some day twos and then hopefully some day one runners and be better at it. So, and also, just a closing thought, I was sitting here and was like, man, I need to create my checklist and rules and stuff I have in front of me. So I remember I used to have this, so I actually made it. I kind of revised it and just redid it. So creating a little bit of this top part's a checklist. So large cap, where are the A plus lines on this chart? Is it trending or ranging? What's the ATR, average volume? Is this a position trade or a nail and bail? How much money are you willing to risk? What story is the chart telling you, and what's the news? Just to kind of make sure I'm not missing anything. And then small caps, what's the float? Is it the hot chick? Is it SSR, ETB? What's the pre-market volume? Has the float been rotated? What are the A plus lines, long or short? And reasons to sell, predetermined profit targets, break of trend, and then beware of fake washes. Don't get shook out. Too steep, take some profit on abnormal moves. Just on those crazy abnormal spikes where they then rip back down and I get shook out because I don't want to be part of that crazy action. Just take some off. And then reading the tape, if obviously if we're seeing tons and tons and tons of buying prints going through, and then small little waves of red or small, and it's looking heavy, just take some profit, get out, or even reverse your position, but that's different. But and then the SPY going nuts, just meaning if you're in a trade along and the SPY's just tanking, or vice versa, probably start reassessing your trade. Maybe start lightening up. Maybe don't get right out, but lighten up on it for sure. Take partials. And then rules: trade stocks in play, i.e., fresh news or trending stocks with high RVOL. Always have a reason to sell. Don't just sell out because you're scared. Pre-plan entries, profit targets, stop and areas to add, and then don't hesitate. Plan it out and then trust the plan. So I don't know. Just thought it was. I'm gonna keep working on it, but um, just trying to get better and I've been upping my size a little bit today. I want to be confident with it. I need to keep myself, obviously don't want to be comfortable. I can push myself out of my comfort zone a little bit, but I'm gonna do better job tomorrow. No FOMO. If I take no trades, it's fine. Just wait for my A pluses and then make the most of them. So that's my day. Kind of sucked. Ended down 144 bucks. Wah wah. Sucked. But I'll come back tomorrow or the next day. Just make one good trade at a time and kill it this month. Peace.